What if I told you that the secret to creating strong, healthy muscle after 60 is sitting right in your cupboard for less than $2? What if everything you thought you knew about protein was incorrect, and the key to maintaining your power and independence as you age had nothing to do with costly supplements or sophisticated meal plans? Here's my pledge to you today. At the end of this video, you'll understand how one simple dish can transform your health, save you hundreds of dollars per month, and restore the energy and vitality you thought were lost forever. We're going to delve into the most recent scientific research that is upending the nutrition field, and I'm going to show you exactly how to capitalize on this great finding beginning today. I'm talking about beans. But first, I'd like to ask you a question. Where are you watching this video, and what time is it now? Please share in the comments. I read each message, and it makes me feel closer to you. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and turn on the bell symbol. That way, you'll never miss another health advice designed specifically for seniors like you. Yes, simple, everyday beans. And before you click away thinking it's too wonderful to be true, let me tell you something that will completely blow your mind. According to a recent study from major institutions, beans can efficiently build and maintain muscle in persons over 60, comparable to pricey protein powders at a fraction of the cost. This discovery calls into question decades of conventional wisdom and gives hope to millions of older adults who are battling with muscle loss on a fixed income. You see, the key is not in the protein source at all. It is about understanding how aging affects our nutritional requirements and how to optimize plant proteins for optimal benefit. And when I show you the science behind it, you'll wonder why no one told you this earlier. Allow me to paint a picture that will forever shift your perspective on protein. When most people think of high-protein foods, they see chicken breasts or steaks. But here's something that will surprise you. Soybeans contain more protein per serving than the chicken breast you've been spending your hard-earned money on. A single cooked cup of soybeans contains 31 grams of total protein. That's more protein than a 4-ounce piece of chicken. Soybeans, however, are not the only superstars in the bean family. Lentils rank second, with about 18 grams of protein per cup. Then, there are your everyday heroes, such as black beans, kidney beans, and chickpeas, which each contain approximately 15 grams per cup. These are not simply numbers on a page. These are genuine muscle-building powerhouses that have been right under our noses the entire time. Now, this is when things become really fascinating. Most individuals have heard the long-standing notion that plant proteins are inadequate or inferior. Let me correct the record once and for all. While most beans have a slightly lower methionine content, they are quite high in lysine. And guess what? Grains such as rice are high in methionine but low in lysine. It's as if nature intended them to function together wonderfully. When you combine beans with rice or other whole grain, you get a comprehensive protein profile that rivals or even outperforms meat in quality. This is not some new age crap. This is fundamental biochemistry that societies around the world have understood for millennia. Think about it. Rice and beans in Latin America, lentils and rice in India, and hummus and pita in the Middle East. These combos did not occur by mistake. But here's what makes beans so unique for those of us over 60. They aren't only supplying protein. Every cup is like taking a multivitamin that you can genuinely enjoy. We are talking about up to 15 grams of fiber, which promotes intestinal health and decreases inflammation throughout the body. You're getting about half of your daily magnesium requirement, which is extremely necessary for optimal muscular contraction and function. The B vitamins in beans, particularly folate, aid in protein metabolism, which becomes less efficient as we age. 1 cup of black beans provides 70% of your daily folate requirements. Then there are antioxidants, potent molecules known as anthocyanins, which battle the oxidative stress that causes muscle degeneration as we age. I understand what some of you would be thinking. How about digestibility? Plant proteins are typically 70–90% digestible, compared to 95–99% for animal proteins. But here's what makes this so amazing. Simple preparation procedures, such as overnight soaking and pressure cooking, can minimize natural chemicals that interfere with digestion by up to 90%. When beans are properly prepared and consumed in sufficient quantities, they are an excellent source of muscle-building protein. Let me share with you something that most doctors do not explain properly enough. After age 50, we begin losing muscle mass at a rate of 0.5% to 1.5% every year. This is about more than just appearing fit and muscular, while those things are important. As we age, we lose muscular mass, a condition known as sarcopenia. Consider it this way. Every pound of muscle you lose makes it tougher to get out of a chair, walk stairs, carry groceries, or stop yourself if you fall. Muscle loss is directly related to an increased risk of falling, incapacity, and even premature death. The good news is that this is not inevitable. With the appropriate nutrition and some basic resistance exercise, we can not only stop, but also reverse muscle loss. This is where the science becomes truly fascinating. Researchers identified something termed anabolic resistance. Essentially, as we become older, our muscles become less sensitive to protein's muscle-building messages. A 30-year-old may obtain the most muscle-building benefits from 20 grams of high-quality protein every meal, whereas someone over 60 requires 30-40 grams per meal to achieve the same result. Leucine is a particular amino acid that works as a trigger for muscle protein synthesis. Younger persons require approximately 1 gram of leucine every meal, whereas elderly adults require 2 to 2.5 grams to flip the same switch. Now, this is where beans really shine. While they contain slightly less leucine than whey protein powder, studies demonstrate that increasing your total plant protein consumption to the appropriate amounts totally eliminates this difference. Let me give you some genuine numbers. If you weigh 154 pounds, that is around 70 kilos. For optimal muscle growth, you should consume between 84 and 112 grams of protein per day. That may sound like a lot, but with beans as the core of your diet, it is completely doable and far more economical than you might imagine. The timing of protein consumption becomes increasingly important as we age. According to research, muscle protein building in older adults peaks 3 to 6 hours after eating, compared to 1 to 2 hours in younger people. This slower, longer response is actually ideal for how beans digest. They deliver a consistent, persistent supply of amino acids, which perfectly complements our body's extended muscle growth window. The scientific world has just turned upside down, with research on plant proteins leading the way. A comprehensive study published in 2023 examined 13 distinct randomized controlled studies with over 800 individuals, all of whom were above the age of 60. The results were just astounding. Plant protein therapies improved lean muscle mass over time, with no significant differences from animal protein controls. But this is where things get even more fascinating. When individuals paired plant protein consumption with resistance training, the benefits were quite spectacular. We're talking about considerable muscle mass gains that were comparable to or greater than those observed with animal proteins. One research that piqued my interest involved 37 older vegetarians who ingested 18 grams of mung bean protein daily for 8 weeks. These people were not following a formal workout regimen. They were simply living their normal lives. After 8 weeks, 45% had gained more than 1 pound of lean body mass, compared to only 7% in the control group, who did not get the additional protein. But wait, things get better. Their grip strength increased by nearly 3%, while the control group's strength decreased. The researchers discovered that these strength gains occurred regardless of muscle mass changes, implying that plant proteins may increase muscle quality via mechanisms that we are only beginning to understand. In long-term care facilities, the data is as compelling. When 84 individuals with an average age of 85 ate 30 grams of soy protein per day for 12 weeks, they gained an average of more than 3 pounds of lean mass and nearly 2 pounds of appendicular muscular mass. That is the most significant muscle in your arms and legs in terms of mobility and independence. Their walking pace increased, whilst the control group continued to drop. Perhaps the most shocking finding came from a big Chinese research of nearly 5,000 adults over the age of 60. Those who consumed the most plant protein had much more muscle mass, whereas animal protein consumption had no effect on muscle maintenance. This clearly undermines the underlying idea that animal protein is better for older persons. In terms of muscle growth, not all beans are made equal. So, let me introduce you to the champs. Soybeans are the ultimate protein powerhouse, with almost 31 grams per cooked cup and the only totally complete plant protein profile available. They are also the most extensively examined, with hundreds of studies demonstrating their usefulness in muscle growth in older persons. If you are unfamiliar with soybeans, you may recognize them as edamame when they are young and green. These can be found in the frozen department of most supermarket shops and make an amazingly convenient protein-packed snack. Simply simmer them for a few minutes, sprinkle with salt, and you'll have the perfect protein boost. Lentils are my second favorite food, for several reasons. They contain almost 18 grams of protein per cup, do not require soaking like larger beans, and cook in 20 to 30 minutes. Red lentils are especially beneficial since they cook quickly and break down into a creamy consistency, which is ideal if you have dental difficulties. Their mild flavor makes them quite flexible, and they're one of the simplest ways to get protein into your regular routine. Black beans and kidney beans are tied for third place, with each delivering approximately 15 grams of protein per cup. I give black beans a little advantage due to their high antioxidant content. The dark pigments that give them their gorgeous color are known as anthocyanins, and they are potent molecules that reduce muscle inflammation and promote healing. These beans are ideal for batch cooking because they hold their texture exactly when frozen and reheated. Chickpeas merit special mention for their remarkable adaptability. While they provide slightly less protein, approximately 14.5 grams per cup, they can be turned into a variety of products. You may roast them for crispy nibbles, mix them into creamy hummus, or serve them whole in salads and soups. Their neutral flavor and firm texture make them ideal as a first introduction to plant-based proteins. Don't overlook split peas. They contain more than 16 grams of protein and do not require soaking before cooking. They naturally break down into a smooth, almost creamy consistency, making them ideal for hearty soups that are simple to consume and digest. A warm bowl of split pea soup can provide sufficient protein in a form that is both pleasant and manageable for older persons suffering from appetite concerns. Let me offer some surprising facts regarding protein economics. Beans are around 1/3 the cost of animal proteins while providing similar muscle-building effects. For those of us on fixed incomes, it's no longer just about nutrition. This is about food security and being able to get enough protein without breaking the bank. A pound of dried beans costs between $1 and $2 and provides 12 to 13 servings of significant protein. The equal quantity of protein in chicken breast would cost between $15 and $20. Over the course of a month, we're talking about savings that might free up hundreds of dollars for other needs. But the benefits extend far beyond your checkbook. Unlike animal proteins, which can raise inflammatory markers in the body, bean eating regularly lowers what scientists call C-reactive protein and other inflammation indicators. This is significant because chronic inflammation, known as inflammaging, directly affects muscle protein synthesis and increases muscle loss. Every serving of beans reduces inflammation while increasing muscular mass. The cardiovascular advantages strengthen the case for beans. While eating a lot of animal protein increases your risk of heart disease, eating beans every day lowers your risk by 10%. For those of us managing various health concerns, selecting beans over meat provides the necessary protein while also supporting heart health, blood sugar control, and healthy cholesterol levels. Environmental sustainability offers another dimension that many people find inspiring. Bean production consumes around 5 times as much energy and water as similar animal protein. For environmentally conscientious older individuals, this offers a lovely balance between personal and planetary health. The main concern I hear about beans is digestibility, but science offers clear, straightforward solutions. Pressure cooking enhances protein digestibility more than any other cooking method, breaking down natural chemicals that can produce gas while retaining all of the beneficial amino acids. A decent pressure cooker can convert dried beans to easily digested protein in 10 to 40 minutes, depending on the variety. Soaking overnight is the first line of defense against stomach problems. Soak your beans in water with a quarter teaspoon of baking soda per pound, and you'll cut gas-producing chemicals by 75 to 90%. Always remove the soaking water and thoroughly rinse the beans before cooking. This single process removes the majority of the chemicals that cause intestinal pain. If you fail to soak your beans overnight, don't worry. The rapid soak method performs nearly as well. Bring the beans to a boil for 2 to 3 minutes, then remove from the heat and allow them sit for an hour. Drain, rinse, and then cook. Traditional societies developed amazing digestion remedies during millennia of bean eating. Adding digestive spices like fresh ginger, cumin, or asafoetida when cooking greatly reduces gas production. Even simple additions like a bay leaf or these natural substances contain enzymes that break down complex carbohydrates, making beans far easier on aging digestive systems. The key to success is a steady introduction. Begin with 2 to 4 teaspoons of well-cooked beans per day, increasing by equivalent amounts each week. Your gut microbiota will adapt in 2 to 3 weeks, and most people report fully normal digestion by week 8. Lentils, split peas, and mung beans produce the least gas when first consumed, making them ideal beginning places for your bean adventure. The beauty of beans is that they provide so much more than just protein. The interplay of all these nutrients provides what I call a perfect storm for muscle health. Take magnesium as an example. Beans contain 45 to 120 mg per serving, and magnesium is directly involved in protein synthesis and muscle contraction. Many elderly persons are magnesium deficient without even realizing it, impairing muscular function regardless of how much protein they consume. Beans include 6 to 15 grams of fiber per cup, which feeds the healthy bacteria in your gut that make chemicals known as short-chain fatty acids. These extraordinary compounds lower inflammation throughout your body and enhance insulin sensitivity, both of which are required for muscle protein synthesis. Recent study has identified the gut-muscle axis, which demonstrates that gut health has a direct influence on muscle mass. Beans' prebiotic properties are especially beneficial in this connection. Beans' antioxidants also demand special attention. These chemicals resist oxidative stress, which accelerates muscle aging. Azuki beans are the most antioxidant-rich, followed by black and red kidney beans. These antioxidants do more than just eliminate dangerous free radicals. They also trigger biological pathways that safeguard the mitochondria in muscle cells. Mitochondria are small energy factories that diminish with age. Therefore, safeguarding them is critical for maintaining muscular function. Iron is another nutrient worth mentioning. While iron in plants is not as easily absorbed as iron in meat, combining beans alongside vitamin C-rich meals can significantly boost absorption. A simple mix of black beans and bell peppers, or lentil soup with tomatoes, can boost iron absorption by up to 300%. This iron is vital for transporting oxygen to your functioning muscles. Leading nutritionists have devised some ingenious techniques for maximizing the muscle-building benefits of beans. Dr. Stuart Phillips, a sports nutritionist who has conducted important research on protein and aging, suggests spreading protein throughout the day rather than trying to consume it all at once. He recommends 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for each meal. For someone weighing around 165 pounds, that equates to approximately 30 grams every meal. This is adding beans into several meals throughout the day, rather than attempting to consume a single large quantity. Registered dietitians who specialize in nutrition for the elderly frequently prescribe what they term the plate technique. Fill 1/4 of your plate with beans or other legumes, 1/4 with whole grains such as brown rice or quinoa, and the other half with colorful veggies. This naturally produces complete proteins while supplying a wide range of nutrients that promote muscular health. Exercise physiologists have made some remarkable discoveries about time. A bean-based lunch, 2 to 3 hours, before resistance training gives steady energy for your session. Eating within 2 hours of exercising promotes muscle protein development. The combination of resistance training and proper plant protein diet has what scientists call synergistic effects. This suggests that the combination is more effective than either technique alone. All of these specialists agree unequivocally. Beans can provide the protein demands of older persons if ingested carefully. The keys are enough total daily consumption, which ranges from 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, proper meal distribution of 25 to 35 grams, and pairing beans with complementary proteins all day. Pressure cooking is the most effective preparation method for elderly persons. Beyond boosting digestibility, pressure cooking softens beans to an easily chewable consistency, while saving cooking time by approximately 75%. Modern electric pressure cookers alleviate the intimidation effect by providing preset schedules for various bean kinds. Simply add beans and water, push the button, and walk away. Batch cooking will completely transform your meal prep routine. Cook 2 to 3 pounds of mixed beans once a week, split them into freezer-safe containers, and you'll have what I call an instant protein bank. Frozen cooked beans retain their nutritious value for up to 6 months and can be used immediately in soups, stews, grain bowls, or salads. Having cooked beans ready to go eliminates the most significant obstacle to regular eating. Sprouting is a method that deserves greater attention because it is so easy but so effective. Sprouted mung beans and lentils boost protein content by 4 to 38%, while enhancing digestibility by 20%. The sprouting process could not be simpler. Soak your beans overnight, then drain and rinse twice a day for 2 to 5 days, or until little tails develop. Sprouted beans cook more faster and give almost no digestive problems. Canned beans are ideal for persons with limited energy or mobility concerns, as they give great convenience without losing nutrition. Choose low-sodium types whenever possible, and here's a suggestion that most people are unaware of. Do not rinse away the viscous liquid in the can. Aquafaba is a protein-rich food. It can organically thicken soups and stews while providing additional nourishment. While canned beans contain somewhat fewer nutrients than home-cooked beans, they nevertheless provide significant muscle-building advantages. Let me tell you about Beverly Kelly, whose tale demonstrates that it's never too late to make significant changes in your health. Beverly chose at the age of 80 to go to a plant-based diet high in beans and other legumes. Within months, she had dropped 14 pounds of belly fat and had significantly higher energy levels. She claims, and I quote, that I now keep active till late in the evening and need less sleep. Her metamorphosis appeals to so many people since she did not make the change out of illness or desperation. She merely wanted to improve her health and learn what was possible. Individual success stories are well supported by research. The famous Nurses' Health Study monitored 85,000 women over 60 for years and discovered that increased plant protein diet was associated with lower frailty risk, but animal protein had the reverse impact. Women who consumed the most plant protein remained independent and mobile for substantially longer than those who ate mostly animal proteins. Community projects illustrate that this is also effective at the population level. The Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program offers vouchers for beans and fresh veggies. Participants demonstrated meaningful gains in muscle mass and decreased obesity rates. When older persons have access to low-cost plant proteins, they naturally increase their intake with consistently good consequences. Another interesting narrative emerges from the realm of senior athletics. More and more senior athletes are adopting plant-based diets, reporting faster recovery periods and sustained performance. The rising community of plant-based senior athletes is challenging every notion about protein requirements, with many living on bean-based diets well into their 80s and 90s. Let me address the most common fallacy, which is preventing far too many people from understanding the benefits of plant proteins. The concept that plant proteins are inadequate or inferior is just incorrect. Every plant on Earth includes all 20 amino acids. That is the same genetic code employed by all of nature. The entire concept of incomplete plant proteins stems from rat research conducted in 1914, and it has been comprehensively disproved by modern science. The American Heart Association plainly indicates that plant proteins may deliver all of the essential amino acids that our systems require. When you consume a varied diet rich in plant proteins throughout the day, you naturally obtain everything your muscles require to grow. Another myth that has to be debunked is the belief that older persons must rely mostly on animal protein. Several recent studies have found that plant protein consumption is more strongly associated with muscle mass maintenance in older adults than animal protein. The Spanish pre-dime study of over 3,000 older persons discovered that vegetable protein consumption was the best predictor of good nutritional status and physical function. Concerns concerning digestibility, while valid, are completely exaggerated. Yes, raw plant proteins digest at 70% to 90% efficiency, compared to 95% to 99% for animal proteins. However, adequate cooking and food preparation easily compensate for this minor discrepancy. More importantly, when your protein consumption is adequate, the 10% to 20% fluctuation becomes utterly irrelevant, and the significantly cheaper cost of beans makes adequate intake much more accessible to the majority of people. The assumption that pricey supplements are required reflects marketing rather than research. Whole food beans include not only protein, but also a whole range of muscle-building minerals. Studies comparing whole food plant proteins to isolated supplements produce comparable or superior results, most likely due to the wonderful synergistic effects of beans' whole nutritional profile. Success begins with wise shopping, which prepares you for long-term success. Buy dry beans in bulk to save money. Then store them in airtight containers for years. Begin expanding your bean collection with the most versatile options. Red lentils are ideal for quick weekday dinners, black beans for big quantity cooking, and chickpeas for snacking and adaptability. If you don't already own a pressure cooker, buy one. It will pay for itself many times over through ease and enhanced digestion. Your first week should be spent on a moderate introduction to allow your digestive system to adjust. Add a quarter cup of well-cooked lentils to your regular lunch soup. By week 2, add half a cup of beans to your dinner. Week 3 is when you serve beans for breakfast. Try mashing white beans into a spread for breakfast toast, or add black beans to scrambled eggs for a protein-packed start to the day. This progressive method helps your digestive system to adapt while developing long-term habits. With beans as a base, meal planning becomes surprisingly simple. Sunday batch cooking of 2 to 3 variations provide protein for the entire week. I prefer to put cooked beans into ice cube trays for convenient single servings that I can pull out as required. Create various flavor profiles to keep things interesting. Italian-style white beans with fresh rosemary and garlic, Mexican-inspired black beans with cumin and lime, or Indian-style lentils with turmeric and ginger. This diversity keeps you interested, while also providing a range of nutrients. For the best muscle-building results, aim for 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. If you weigh 154 pounds, 70 kilograms, you'll need between 84 and 112 grams of protein. Plan to eat 30 to 50 grams of beans every day, spread out over 3 meals. At each meal, combine beans and whole grains to form a balanced protein. To improve iron absorption, eat foods high in vitamin C such as bell peppers, tomatoes, and citrus. If you like, you can add tiny amounts of dairy or eggs to boost the leucine level and improve muscle protein building. Remember to stay hydrated, especially as you increase your fiber intake through beans. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water per day. Consider incorporating some light resistance training into your program, even if it's only body weight exercises or resistance bands. The combination of enough plant protein and regular resistance activity produces a potent synergy for muscle growth and maintenance. Here's what I want you to take away from our discussion today. The research is clear that beans can help adults over the age of 60 gain and maintain muscular mass. They provide high-quality protein at a reasonable price, while also delivering anti-inflammatory chemicals, vital minerals, and heart-healthy fiber that animal proteins cannot equal. Beans, when properly prepared and consumed strategically throughout the day, provide a sustained, health-promoting road to sustaining your strength and independence for decades to come. You don't need pricey vitamins. You do not require sophisticated food plans. Beans must be carefully prepared and consumed on a regular basis. Your muscles, wallet, and overall health will thank you for adopting this easy yet effective change. The question isn't whether beans can help you gain and maintain muscle after 60. If this video touched you in any way, please let me know by liking it, sharing it with someone you care about, or leaving a comment. And if you want to continue walking this path with me, studying health, healing, and deeper living in your elderly years, be sure to subscribe and touch the bell button. Every week, I'll be right here with you, telling everyone that we're still alive. The question is, are you willing to give them the chance they deserve?